Integumentary system.
Integumentary system. The integumentary system consists of the nails and accessory structures such as hair, glands, and nails. Integument means covering, and the integumentary system is one of the most familiar systems of the body to everyone because it covers the outside of the body and it is easily observed.
Major function. Protections. The skin provides protection against abrasion and ultraviolet light. It also prevents microorganisms from entering the body and reduces water loss, thus preventing dehydration. Sensation. The integumentary system has sensor receptors that can detect heat, cold, touch, pressure, and pain. Vitamin D production. When exposed to ultraviolet light, the skin produces a molecule that can be transformed into vitamin D, an important regulator of calcium homeostasis. Temperature regulation. The amount of blood flow beneath the skin surface and the activity of sweat gland in the skin both help regulate body temperature. Excretion. Small amounts of waste products are lost through the skin and in gland secretion. The skin. Skin is the largest organ of the body, occupying almost 2 meters square of surface area thickness of 2 millimeter. Skin has three main parts. These are the epidermis, dermis, and hypodermis. Epidermis is the outer layer of the skin that is made of stratified squamous epithelium. It has no blood supply. Epidermis contains 4 to 5 strata. Stratum corneum is the outer, dead, flat, keratinized, and thicker layer. Stratum lucidum. It consists of flat, translucent layers of cells. This is stratum found in thick skin only. Stratum granulosum. The cells in this layer are in the process of keratinization. Stratum spinosum. The cells in this stratum have a polyhedral shape and they are in the process of protein synthesis. Stratum basale rests on the basement membrane and it is the last layer of epidermis next to stratum spinosum. Stratum basale together with stratum spinosum constitute stratum germinativum. Dermis or through skin. A strong, flexible, connective tissue mesh work of collagen, reticular, and elastic fibers. Most part of the skin is composed of dermis. It contains papillary and reticular layers. Papillary layer is next to stratum basale of epidermis. It contains loose connective tissue within the bundles of collagenous fibers. It also contains loose capillaries that nourish the epidermis. In some areas, papillary layer have special nerve endings that serve as touch receptors. Indentations of papillary layer in the palms and soles reflected over the epidermis to create ridges. Reticular layer. It is made of dense connective tissue with cores of collagenous fiber bundles that crisscross to form a stroma of elastic network. In the reticular layer, many blood and lymphatic vessels, nerves, fat cell, sebaceous or oil glands, and hair roots are embedded. Hypodermis. It is found beneath the dermis. It is a subcutaneous layer or under the skin. Hypodermis is composed of loose fibrous connective tissue, which is richly supplied with lymphatic and blood vessels and nerves. Hypodermis is much thicker than dermis. Within it coils of ducts of sudoriferous or sweat glands and the base of hair follicles. Receptors of deep pressure distributed throughout the dermis. The glands of the skin. Sudoriferous or sweat glands. Eccrine glands are small, simple, coiled tubular glands distributed over nearly the entire body, and they are absent over nail beds, margin of lips of vulva, tips of penis. Eccrine glands are numerous over the palms and soles. Their secretory portion is embedded in the hypodermis. The sweat that they secrete is colorless, aqueous fluid containing neutral fats, albumin, urea, lactic acid, and sodium chloride. Its secretion helps body temperature to be regulated.
Apocrine glands are odoriferous, found at the armpits, into dark regions around nipples, the outer lips of the vulva, anal, and genital regions. They are larger and deeply situate than eccrine sweat glands. An apocrine sweat gland becomes active at puberty. They respond to stress, including sexual activity. The female breasts are apocrine glands that have become adapted to secrete and release milk instead of sweat. The ceruminous glands in the outer ear canal are also apocrine skin glands. Sebaceous or oil glands. Sebaceous glands are simple branched alveolar glands found in the dermis. Their main functions are lubrication and protections. They are connected to hair follicles and secrete oily secretion called sebum. It is a semi-fluid substance composed of entirely lipids. Hair. Hair is composed of keratinized thread of cell, which develops from the epidermis because it arises from the skin. It is considered an appendage of the skin. It covers the entire body except the palms, soles, lips, tip of penis, inner lips of vulva, and nipples. Functions: insulation against cold in scalp, against glare in eyebrows, screen against foreign particles or eyelashes, in the nostril trap, dust particle in the inhaled air, protect openings from the foreign particles.
Structure of hair. Hair has two parts, the shaft and the part above the skin and the root embedded in the skin. The lower portion of the root, located in the hypodermis, enlarges to form the bulbs. The bulb is composed of the matrix of epithelial cells. The bulb pushes inward along its bottom to form a papilla of blood-rich connective tissue, a rector pili muscle. This is a tiny muscle that attaches to the base of hair follicle at one end to dermal tissue on the other end. In order to generate heat when the body is cold, the erector pili muscles contract all at once, causing the hair to stand up straight on the skin.
Nail.
Nail plate. The nail gradually grows over the nail bed. The nail plate is composed of layers of keratinized skin cells. The layers are packed very closely together with fat, very little water content, and becomes free edge. Hyponychium. This is part of the epidermis under the free edge of the nail plate. Its function is to protect the nail bed from infection. Free edge. The nail plate leaves the end of the finger and forms a projection that is called the free edge. This is attached to the nail bed and appears as white. The function of the free edge is to protect the fingertip and the hyponychium. Nail grooves. This lies alongside of the edge of the nail plate. The function of the nail groove is to keep the nail growing in a straight line.
Matrix. This is the growing area of the nail and sometimes called as the nail root. The shape and the size of the matrix determines the thickness of the nail. The process of the keratinization takes place in the epidermal cells of the matrix, forming the hardened tissue of the nail plate. The function of the matrix is to produce new nail cells. Nail mantle. The nail mantle is the layer of the epidermis at the base of the nail before the cuticle. The function of the nail mantle is to protect the matrix from physical damage. Lunula. This is located at the base of the nail, lying over the matrix. It is white in color and known as half moon. The nail is slightly soft in this area and can be easily damaged. Cuticle. The overlapping epidermis around the base of the nail is called the cuticle. The function of the cuticle is to protect the matrix from infections. Nail wall. These are the folds of the skin overlapping the sides of the nail. The function of the nail wall is to protect the nail plate edges. Perionicum. This is the collective name given to the nail walls and the cuticle area. Eponicum. This is the extension of the cuticle at the base of the nail plate, under which the nail plate emerges from the matrix. The function of eponicum is to protect matrix from infection.